You're Sarah.
You're Caleb Noble.
And what do we talk about today?
We talked to Steed Whips and learned about the whips that they're making for riders here.
And we also talked to Whitney Bodner, and he talked me through a park harness class. It's pretty interesting. Good stuff.
And we also talked to Horse Feathers Equine Facility and learned about their rescue program. It's pretty cool.
And I talked to some people over at AMHA, Jeff Gove and Julie Broadway, and it was very informational. So today should be a good show, don't you think?
I'm excited. I hope everyone enjoys what we have put together.
Check it out. Sarah, it's that time of year again. They have the best performance of the show. It's pretty exciting stuff.
I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to see what people are going to vote and put in as the best performance.
And then November 15th, we have our yearly Best Performance e-magazine that comes out. And voting starts for the real Best Performance November 15th through December 1st. And then the winner on December 1st will be announced. And how much money are they going to win?
They win $1,000.
That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. So casting votes, might be able to win $1,000. And if you think a horse can win, do it.
I would want to win $1,000, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I definitely would. So get your friends on and start voting. And your top 25, you're in the running for the money. So I'm here with Whitney Bodner of Merry Hill Farm. Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Good,
Good
man.
to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching a junior horse park harness class. Looking forward to your input.
Yeah. Park harness is probably my favorite division at the show, so this is going to be fun.
And what's that great horse you drive right now in the park harness division?
Leonardo's Cry. He's a fun one. He's a lot of fun. He's a heck of a horse. He pretty much fits exactly how I like him to be.
Well, that's good. We're looking forward to you showing him this week, and we're looking forward to listening to what you have to say about this class.
All right.
What do you look for in a park harness horse?
In a park harness horse, I like slow with a lot of animation. I'm not a fan. I like that one. I know that one pretty well. I like a slow, fancy park harness horse. I am not a roadster, fine harness person whatsoever. I like I said, a lot of animation. I like self-carriage and a lot of pizzazz. That's what I'm looking for. And definitely a four-cornered trot. Pretty much how Tony Hawk is looking right now. He looks pretty awesome, I think. He is. I had him as a 2-year-old. He was quite a blast to have. Just a nice horse. A lot of fun, a lot of attitude.
So when you're looking at a young horse, a prospect, what are you looking for if you think it might cut it in the Park Harness division?
A Park Harness horse, in my opinion, has to be gifted off both ends, and they have to get off the ground quickly. They kind of have to be spring-loaded, I think. A pleasure horse, I look for more of a ground covering trot. In a park horse, I like them to slow down, rock back up over their haunches, and go real fancy.
So you said that the Park Harness division is probably one of your favorite ones. Why is that?
I think Morgan's in particular, if you get a good one, I think they fit the division really well. And they're just, a lot of them are built to do it if you get a good one. But they have to definitely be built to do it right. They've got to be up-headed. Easy, buddy. And they have to have a lot of attitude.
So what's some of your favorite ones that you've bred?
After Hours was a pretty cool horse. We rode him last year, and he would probably him and Homestretch are probably my favorite park horses that we've bred personally. Both very similar, able to go slow with a lot of animation and a lot of presence. Yeah, those two would probably be my favorites.
So in your breeding, you've had a very successful breeding program. A horse that comes to mind to me is Mary Hill Hooligan, who I grew up watching, and he's a really cool horse. So tell me, what do you guys look for when you're breeding horses?
We like to, we don't breed a lot of like to like. We tend to try to find the best parts of a mare and a stud, and hopefully you get them and you don't get the other parts. But that's what we really look for. We look for a lot of heart, definitely workability, then definitely talent. I'm getting distracted. I'm watching Hawk. But yeah, and size and stretch, because you're breeding horses that you want, but you also have to think about people, they want to ride, and you got to have a horse that's big and stretchy to ride. Yep.
So do you have bloodlines you usually stick with, or is it kind of doesn't matter?
We've had a lot of luck with Mizrahi. He really seems to throw the type of trot that makes a Park Harness horse. Yeah, I think he throws probably the most four-cornered trot consistently out of most of the studs out there, and his sons seem to be really doing it too. And I think the Leonardo's Cry horse, he doesn't have any on the ground right now, but he definitely, I think, as far as the ones we have now, he reminds me a lot of Homestretch and Tony Hawk. He's got the same type of presence and get off the ground and a lot of heart. He's a beast. But yeah, we've had a lot of luck with the Mizrahi, and we've had a lot of luck with crossing Mizrahi with Masterpiece or Stage Rage. We like to kind of take the big stretchy frames and put a Mizrahi motor into them, and that seems to really work for us.
So Whitney, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. Really appreciate it. Looks like Tony Hawk won, which
yes, he did. Yes, he did. I didn't expect any less out of him. He's a great horse, and it's really nice to see Phil driving him, because he definitely loves that horse. I've talked to him, in the past about him, and I think he enjoys every minute of showing that horse.
with Terry from Steed Whips. Tell us a little bit about your business.
We started this company, well, actually it's about 30 years old, but about 20 years ago, we started making the custom designed whips. And I met my husband about the same time. He's the wood turner, and you guys have been good to us here at the Morgan Show, and this is our 18th year here. So we make custom whips. We got into some leather products and try to keep most of what we do custom, do engraving. We also do embroidery, screen printing, lots of things that a lot of the barns need.
You've obviously been doing this for a long time. Tell us a little bit of how you started and how it's evolved from the beginning.
Well, I've loved horses all my life and rode since I was about 8 years old. We sold our last horse probably 15 years or so ago, but wanted to stay in the business and have reasons to keep going to horse shows, so we started this business, and it's taken off from there. I just like being around horses and want every excuse I can find to stay with them.
And did you have any mentors or anyone that helped you get involved?
I had my instructor at the time when we came up with the ideas for the whips. Her name is Mary Mac Lancaster. She's in Frankfort, Kentucky, and we're from Louisville. She let me show her walk-trot horse at the World Championship Horse Show and let us use what was called then a no-limit walk-trot stick. It was a wood whip. The whole thing was wood. And so that's what gave me the idea for these. Well, we can't make the completely wooden whip on a lathe because they bow and they break. I found out that those were all hand carved. But these, we make the handles out of the wood. So that's where the idea came from. I had the idea for about 3 years before it came together, and then a friend of ours introduced Clay and I, and we fell in love and got married, and that's where it went.
So tell us a little bit about the different types of whips that you sell.
We have saddle seat and driving whips, some drop lash whips. We also have hunt seat whips. And based on how you ride, you just come up and order them, and the handles are what's custom made, and there's no two alike. We've never retailed them. So every single one is custom made for the person that buys them.
Now, if any of our viewers or anyone here wanted to come and purchase your whip, how long would it take for you to make them?
It takes them about an hour, unless we're backed up, but each whip takes about an hour to make. And that's starting from a block of wood to turning it to the design that they want. We put the metal pieces on, a monogram button on the end of it, and add the shaft to it. And our pieces are all custom made for us. The whips are custom made. Nobody else has a whip shaft like ours. The ferrules we have manufactured at home in Louisville, so they're all custom made. The buttons are made, each individual button is made for us because we engrave them and they have to be out of a soft metal. Those are made up in Massachusetts. So we also have whip cases. Those are made in the United States.
Why do you think they're so successful amongst riders?
First of all, I think we're very fortunate that they've kept riding them, but I think it's a comfort thing. And the designs, a lot of people come up and they'll bring a whip that's got masking tape all over, electrical tape, because they're trying to make it comfortable in their hand and so they don't drop it. And so we've done that by turning the wood. We've turned the electrical tape into a design in the wood, and I think it helps them to hold on to the whip and feel comfortable with it.
And besides the Morgan Greer National, where else can people find you to buy the whip?
Well, we do the Saddlebred World Championships. We do the Blue Ridge Horse Show, Big Shelbyville Horse Show at home in Louisville. Well, we're in Louisville, but it's in Shelbyville, Kentucky. We will be at the American Royal and Rock Creek Horse Show at home, that is in Louisville. We don't do a whole lot of shows, but we do probably 5 or 6 a year.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Oh, thank you. I sure appreciate it.
We know Oklahoma's morning people. You take your breaking news before breakfast. You want your weather before your workout. And you try to beat Sky 5 out the door. Oklahoma's own Ariel and Abby, getting you informed so you can get on with your day. And nobody's more accurate than Brad's First Alert forecast. Join us tomorrow and see for yourself. Morning news for Oklahoma's morning people. KOCO 5 News in the morning.
Hi guys, I'm Jeff Gove. I'm the current president of the American Morgan Horse Association, and to my right and joining us this afternoon is Julie Broadway, the executive director of the American Morgan Horse Association. We're here at the 2015 World Championship Morgan Horse Show, and we just want to bring you up to date on some AMHA happenings. So Julie, what do you got for us?
So I thought we might start with a quick update on the 2016 election. As most of you know, we have changed our election process for next year, and all of those that have a valid email address will be receiving your ballot electronically. If you do not wish to receive an electronic ballot, you do need to contact the office and let us know so that we can mail you a paper ballot. We do have to know if you need that paper ballot before December the 1st. The ballots will go out the first part of January, and the results will be announced at the Super Convention in February of 2016. I also wanted to make you aware of where we stand as far as candidates are concerned. Region 1, we have 2 positions open, and running for those 2 positions are Holly Shribner and Karen Marlin. In Region 2, we have 2 positions open, and we have Kate Kirsch. The other position is going to remain vacant at this time because we did not have a candidate come forward for that position. We also have running for Region 9, Linnea Seedy. And then we had a vacancy in Region 3, which was the position that Amy Farley previously held, and Sherry Cole is running for that position. We also have a vacancy in Region 10, and Betsy Buchanan is running for that position. In addition to those regional director positions, we have 2 directors at large that are open, one for a 3-year term and one for a 2-year term, which is completing the vacancy that Harry Sebring had held. So right now, those individuals are still collecting signatures to be placed on the ballot, but right now I currently have the slate of Ling Fu Wiley and Cindy Meunier, Harlan Grunden, and Mary Westman are all collecting signatures to possibly run for directors at large.
Great, thanks. We have several other topics here to talk about, but I think up until just probably 2 months ago, the slate of candidates running for the board this coming February was considerably less. And it kind of is a good segue to talk about the governance changes that we're proposing this year at the convention and as part of the overall election. There are very significant bylaw changes that will be coming before you. And we have a chart showing how we'd like to redistrict the entire country, actually the entire world, but it really focuses more on the USA and Canada. We currently have 10 regions where we elect directors and 3 at-large positions. That will change to just 3 overall regions with 3 directors being elected from each region. So we'll be downsizing considerably. We're going to go from a House House of Representatives style approach in terms of how we will govern AMHA in the future.
So one of the things you're going to see on the ballot are these bylaw changes that Jeff's mentioning. We're going to give you the highlights of what those bylaw changes are, and then there'll be a link for you to click to read actually the red line of all the details of those bylaw changes. Because going from 10 regions to 3 regions and changing the board from 16 members down to 9 members is a very extensive bylaw overhaul. So we're asking everyone to take an opportunity to read all those bylaws and give us some feedback about that.
Yeah, please make sure you do, and if you have any questions or concerns about it, please contact the office. But we hope to have this in place and be part of the vote for this coming year, which means that in 2017, the election, you will be electing a brand new board of directors from across the entire country. So it's very significant, and you're probably wondering, okay, if we do this, what happens to the regional shows? Julie, tell us about the regional shows.
So we're looking at a complete overhaul of the criteria for our regional shows. And what we mean by that is right now we only allow 1 regional show in each of the 10 regions. And we're changing that formula. We're going to set the criteria up, and any show can apply to be a regional, and we can have more than 10 regions, 10 regionals. So there'll be multiple regional shows in each of the 3 regions. Eastern, Central, and Western are the 3 regions that we've outlined. And so there'll be several regional shows in each of those kind of zones, if you will. And we may, like I said, we may have fewer or we may have more, and we're very excited about that. And right now the committee is in a discussion about having sort of a championship in each of those 3 areas. So an East Coast championship, a Central championship, and a West championship. So we're working through that. We're also taking a look at some changes to our star rating program because people have made some really great suggestions for that. So look for some more information about changes in how the whole show process is going to work. Again, to Jeff's point, that would take effect in 2017. So no worries for anybody for 2016. Everything will stay status quo. But when we get to 2017, if the bylaws do change, you'll start to see these things begin to roll out. It also means that candidates that are running in the 2016 election, I just mentioned are running for a 3-year term or a 2-year term. That could very well turn out to be just a 1-year term if the bylaw changes go through. So we want to make sure everybody understands if the bylaw changes don't pass, the 3 years or the 2 years will stand. But if they do pass, then it could just be a 1-year term.
And there's a lot to swallow here. So please, if you have questions, get a hold of Julie or anybody at the AMHA offices.
New stores, new look. The outlet shops at Oklahoma City.
So I'm here with the people from Indian Creek Farm celebrating their 25th anniversary, and they are hosting tonight's party up in Justin's Lounge. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
So can you tell me who you guys are, and that'd be awesome.
I'm Megan Buckley. I'm Russ and Jeanette's granddaughter.
And I'm Ann Buckley, Jeanette and Russ Quillett's daughter.
Cool. So what does it mean to you guys to be in business for 25 years?
It's exciting. We've had a great team with Kurt and Shauna, and it's just been exciting. 2 grandchildren have been able to, join the Indian Creek team, and it's just been exciting. Megan ages out in the junior exhibitor this year, and Sarah Quillett showed, back in the early 90s, late 80s, and she'll be here tomorrow to come and watch the show.
So it's multi-generational. That's pretty cool. What do you think?
It's really fun being able to see all these pictures and everybody else has done it before me. It's really special.
So is there any special plans happening for the rest of the week with you guys? Any good classes you're looking forward to?
I have my English championships tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. My cousin's going to come watch. And I know my grandparents are watching live feed at home. So.
Cool. So you should say hi to them at home.
Hello.
Hi.
And we're really excited. Megan's going to be showing the championship classic pleasure with Indian Creek High Stakes. So we're really excited to see that one last junior exhibitor ride with, an Indian Creek born bred horse. So that'll be fun.
There's quite the legacy of Indian Creek registered Morgans. So tell me a little bit about that breeding program.
Oh, golly. That's been my dad, Larry Bolin, early on. I'm going to butcher memories and things here because I was having children when the farm first started. But just really Kurt and my dad and Shauna and my mom. Just getting just a lot of advice from farms and just wonderful people in the Morgan community. I know just everyone, and they've just loved all the relationships throughout the Morgan community, and you really have to talk to Kurt and Shauna about all that.
Well, it's definitely a family and a team effort, and we really appreciate you guys hosting the party tonight, and happy 25th anniversary, and have a good rest of your week.
Thank you.
A lot.
So I'm here with Colleen from Horse Feathers Equine Facility. Tell us a little bit about your barn.
I have about 12 horses in training. There's about 3 horses that have come from direct Amish sales and are here to retrain and rehome. I have 3 rescues primarily that I currently show and have taken back for 3 or 4 years now. My girls show, one's 24, he thinks he's 7, and he was saved from a kill pen situation. I have a few students that I take during the week and train, and they use the rescues in part of their show, first time show kids, and all disciplines.
Tell us a little bit more about the rescues. How do you get them, and how do you go about bringing them along in terms of getting them ready to show?
A lot of our rescues have come or originated from the Pennsylvania area. It's a high Amish community there. There's a auction house called New Holland, And a lot of them are bought by brokers, get into a broker circuit. They are bought in hopes to then sell. The brokers actually advertise them themselves for sale. And we bring them, usually when they come in, some are in better shape than others. Some need a little bit of rehab and time. But others really, work right into a program, whether it's, we try and find what's suitable for them, whether it's hunter, western, or entry-level English pleasure.
And do you have rescues that you've taken to shows and then sold to other people?
Right now, we have kept the 3 that we originally started with. We're pretty new. We're about 3 years now. This is our 4th year here. And the 3 we started with, we've kept as our own personal horses. One is Kid Hope. It's going to be showing Walk Jog with my little 11-year-old. And then Heir Apparent, Spring Mill Heir Apparent has taken on the versatility and will also be coming in the Walk Trot Hunter this year. And then Percy, Relentless Pursuit is Percy. We have him at home, and he needed a little bit more rehab, so hopefully next year he'll come in the Hunter division.
And tell us a little bit about your history, how you got involved with Morgan.
Started at Orkland Farms in West Newbury. Grew up with the orchids, and it was great, very family-oriented. Started showing there, was then worked for Richard Boulay, and was the assistant trainer on up. I've worked for Judy Nason in the area. Just a great, mostly grew up in New England, and got out of it for a while, and got married, had kids, ended up following my husband to Texas, and got back into it, and it was through the rescue that I got back involved with the Morgan.
Why are you passionate about rescuing horses?
I feel it's very important. I feel like every horse needs a chance. There's a horse out there for everybody. And some of these, there's a lot of horses that are just getting thrown away as kind of not the right fit. And a lot of these horses will fit into jobs for someone, even in the show community. They shouldn't be just tossed away, and they deserve something better than a trip on the slaughter truck.
What about this breed do you love so much?
Oh my gosh, they are just very people friendly. They're a very forgiving breed for the amount of stress or things that they've been through, especially being in the different situations like a kill pen situation. You can really build back on their trust very easily, I find, and work back. I've had a thoroughbred that just is not as easy to work with, but they're very, very family people. I can put my littlest rider on the biggest horse in the barn and feel confident that he's just going to take care of him.
If people want to come and ride with you in Texas, how can they get in contact with you?
They can find me. It's horsefeathersequine.com, or all the information for the contact is on the website, actually.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Sally Wadhams, who plays an instrumental role with Morgan Grand National. Sally, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about what role you play with the Morgan Grand National.
I'm in charge of sponsorships and box seats and all the advertising in the show program.
That sounds like a lot of work. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we have over 400 sponsors from all over the country, and we are thrilled to welcome old sponsors and new, and they get to take advantage of all sorts of fun things here at the show, preferred parking and terrific box seats and a big tax deduction and advertising and all that good stuff. And then they feel like they're part of the show. They sponsor a class, and they help make the show happen. If we just had entries, entry fees don't cover putting on this show. So we have to have sponsorships, and the Morgan World they're just lovely about it.
So how do you go about doing sponsorships? Like, what's the season for it? How does that work?
Well, we call them one by one. We do a mailing, and some people just respond by mail. And then we just get on the phone and we call them. We try not to stalk them, but we call and email everyone. And the trainers are terrific about sponsoring as individuals, but also they line up the people in their barn for us and introduce us to the people in their barn and their new clients and their old clients and help us along that way. And we've had some people who've sponsored for over 40 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So tell me a little about yourself. Enough about what you do for work. What's your story?
Well, my story is that I grew up on the West Coast. I was horse crazy like you from the time I was born. I had a half quarter horse on an island in the San Juans in Washington, and I showed on what Conkey Price calls the snow fence circuit. I was on the wrong lead most of the time, and just had a terrific time of it. And then I came east and went to boarding school and started showing event horses with some big shot coaches. I was always scared to death jumping those big fences, but I had a great time doing it. And then I married a Morgan trainer. I married Lumen Wadhams and worked with him for felt like forever, Lumen. And then I got hired by the American Morgan Horse Association as their national youth director and then their communications director. And then I got hired by the Grand National Morgan Horse Show over 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I've been doing sponsorships and advertising and box seats ever since.
So what do you love? What keeps you going? Why do you keep doing this?
Gosh, that's a really good question.
I'm good at those.
Yeah, you're really good at those. I think what keeps me going is, and honestly, it makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck, to see these generations of Morgan owners. I mean, I know your family, and I know two or three generations of your family, and 2 or 3 or 4 generations of many of the families who are here. And to see the dads drive, Bob Klein drove the other night, and Sasha Klein, is riding, and all these little kids who are competing as well. But the dads and moms and grandparents get to too. So I love that about the Morgan Show Horse, that everybody gets to participate, and even if they're not competing, they're at the show together. Yeah. I mean, what kind of what else do we get to do with teenagers and kids all as a family like that?
Oh, it's a blast. It's a blast. Honestly, I still get the same feeling in my stomach the last day of a horse show, and it was like so sad it's going to be over, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go home to the real world, because to me, this is the place I want to be always.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I think we're really, really lucky.
Yeah. And a lot of words that people say when I talk to them are that the family and the community, and it's like old home, not old home, but like it's like coming home, homecoming every time they come to any of these shows, especially Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's really true. I think people say, well, we stabled next to them 15 years ago, and we look forward to seeing them every year. Or our box seats were next to them, these people from Arizona, and we met them, and now we look forward to seeing them. And it's the only time of year when they may see those folks, but they've developed relationships. And it's all about relationships. Sponsorships is all about relationships with the show and with each other. So
okay, if someone's saying, hey, I want to do a sponsorship, I want to help out the Morgan Grand National, how do they do that?
Well, you are so sweet to ask. Thank you. Here at the show, you can find me in hospitality. I'm almost always there, and everyone knows me. When we're not here at the show, I'm home in Vermont, and I'm just a phone call or an email away, and all of my contact information is on our website.
So Amy, Morgan Gray National.
At the Morgan Gray National website, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And the American Morgan Horse Association knows how to find me too, so you can just ask anybody.
Yeah. She's like a staple in the community, you know, everybody knows her. So thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of the week. Hope you have a lot of fun. I know you will.
Thank you.
And hopefully get some more sponsors and make this Morgan Gray National even better than it is this year.
Thank you. Hey, Josh, every moment with you is a great moment.
Caleb.
So thanks. Oh, yeah, Caleb.
It's all good.
Josh is his brother.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't really care. I'm used to it.
Thanks.
We know Oklahoma's morning people. You take your breaking news before breakfast. You want your weather before your workout. And you try to beat Sky 5 out the door. Oklahoma's own Ariel and Abby, getting you informed so you can get on with your day. And nobody's more accurate than Brad's first alert forecast. Join us tomorrow and see for yourself. Morning news for Oklahoma's morning people. KOCO 5 News in the morning.
Ken Swallow will handle the call of our class. He'll be joined by Susie Day and Melissa Moore. Park Saddle, brought to you by the Deer Springs Equestrian LLC of San Marcos, California, showing at a park trot, please, park trot. Thank you, riders. Park walk, please. Park walk. canter, please. Canter. Thank you, riders. Park walk, please. Park walk. We head for home on a Tuesday night on the reverse. And showing at the Park Trot, come to life in our final class tonight, the Park Saddle entry, second way, and a Park Trot. Riders down to the park wall. And now canter, please. Final gate of our Tuesday night will be the canter. Riders, thank you. Park walk, please. Out to the park walk. Calling for the lineup, we'll ask you to move into the park trot. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Your park saddle entry. Heading to the lineup of Tuesday night's final edition. Right in, all lined up. Here Springs Equestrian Division, LLC, for Theodore and Lake Olson, San Marcos, California. I'd like to thank the Andover Farm, Greenwood Village, Colorado, David and Cindy Vogel. Guys, thank you very much for your support. Heading down to that winner's circle as the final winner on Tuesday night, receiving all three first place votes. It is no contest, and Tim Rosing to be the Park Saddle winner. 290, number issued to no contest, GCA. Representing the Non-Farm Limited of Nevada City, California, Tim Rosings in the irons, no contest, your Park Saddle winner.
Sarah, it's that time of year again. They have the best performance of the show. It's pretty exciting stuff.
I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to see what people are going to vote and put in as the best performance.
Yeah, definitely. And we have some victory pass for you guys at home, and people have already cast votes for these horses that you're seeing on the screen here in a little bit. So that's pretty cool already. People are already voting. It's a big deal.
And people can do that. They can put in their nominations for the horses up until Saturday as well.
And then Saturday night, they're going to announce the top 25. And then November 15th, we have our yearly Best Performance e-magazine that comes out. And voting starts for the real Best Performance November 15th through December 1st. And then the winner on December 1st will be announced. And how much money are they going to win?
They win $1,000.
That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. So casting votes, you might be able to win $1,000, and I think that's pretty awesome. So if you think a horse can win and you can get people to vote, do it, because it's definitely worth it.
I would want to win $1,000, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I definitely would. So get your friends on and start voting. And if you're top 25, you're in the running for the money.
Horse Show Wire, dedicated to promoting the Morgan horse through digital innovation. The first to bring you e-blasts and social media promotions. The first to bring you live gate interviews.
It doesn't get any better than this.
The first to bring you in-depth farm interviews and pre-show coverage. The first to offer best performance of the show. We are innovative and passionate about what we do. Horse Show Wire.